that want to lead and that want to own our struggle. The last thing we want is white savior complex coming into our tahrik and trying to represent us. We don't want you. We don't want your representation, and you can show it where sun never shines. Thank you very much. Muhammad Saab, Jamal Saab, your mic.
Thank you, Charlie. I would like to just request again everyone to just speak on the topic and be restricted to the topic. We do not want any history lessons here. In my space, we only speak about the topic, and we keep our language, way in control. Having said that, I want to say that no diaspora group, if they claim to be working with any group on ground or leadership on ground, be it All Parties With Conference or any other group, there is a lie. There is no representative of the on-ground leadership in diaspora. There are only representatives in Pakistan and nowhere else. As I said, that as long as representatives are not appointed or elected, anyone claiming to be a representative is a lie. So I would like to go to Fazli Saab. He has been listening to us patiently. Fazli Saab, please give your opinion on this.
Hello, good morning, good evening, everybody, wherever you are. Almost everything that needs to be said on the topic has already been said. But I would like to add one aspect that has not been touched, is that the diaspora, somebody was talking about that their job is to lobby and so basically they can act as a foreign, like a commission, what do you call that, commission, and as an ambassadors, but they cannot do it on their own. If they want to represent Kashmir, they need to get a commission from the leadership on the ground. They need to get approval of what talking points they are going to put forward, what policy they are going to put forward in the international community. Those decisions need to be made on the ground. And I think our leadership also needs to work on this. We can take example from Afghanistan. The Taliban, although there was leadership in Afghanistan, but they appointed representatives who echoed the emotions and the aspirations of the leadership on the ground, and made international talks and discussions based on the aspirations of the leadership on the ground. They were appointed by the leadership on the ground. So there needs to be, we need to work on this. There needs to be some sort of mechanism like this where we can vet the people in diaspora. The leadership can vet the people in diaspora and basically give them the agenda. What can they talk about? What are, give them a framework and to represent Kashmiris abroad. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Fazli Saab. Yeah, absolutely right. So I want to add that, since the people who get out of Kashmir and they go to the universities and colleges and then they start believing that we are now qualified and, educated, and we're going to replace those people, who are less educated than the diaspora guys. We want to just remind them there's these people who are on ground who have been working with the Tahrik for so long time, for decades. They have suffered in jails and they have spent a lot of time in jails, and they may not have PhDs or doctorates or masters or other engineering degrees. They may not have been to universities, but they have been working and they have sacrificed and they have been very sincere in the name of Tahrik, in the name of religion, and and they have the proven track record. And I think one needs to have at least some shame to challenge these people, and go against these people. At least have the respect. If they allow us, if they allow other people, the youngsters, the boys, to work, of course the boys can work. But I think it's very heartbreaking when people try to say that these people are now irrelevant, and they these some people say, hey, yam bad ch yamo bado inis wailet yamo buzargo inis wailet aman shun dunish pai kiyan. So I think that's very that is very embarrassing to these people. I mean someone who says this should have a shame. That's what I want to say. We have anyone else here who wants to speak? Please request the mic so we can bring you up.
I think Miss Karen is here, and she can give an outsider perspective on the issue if she wants to.
Yeah, Karen, she has blocked me. I don't know why. But
I think. Hello.
Hi, Karen.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I've just been listening, kind of, because obviously I'm not a Kashmiri, and I'm kind of the outsider here. But I wanted to.
Karen, I just want to first ask you, why have you blocked me? Do you know me?
I have no idea.
Okay.
There is one very close friend of mine in this debate whom I had also blocked until we realized, that we were close friends otherwise. So, I sometimes block people if they go after me for being white, which is ridiculous. I'm less white than most Kashmiris. Or, my tolerance level has really gotten very low, when it comes to certain things. So I don't know, but I will unblock you because I've been listening to you and I've been wondering the same thing. Why the hell did I block this person? So anyway, I apologize. But I wanted to say one thing up front. I have never, ever, ever been after any type of leadership in anything. Even, the organization that I'm heading, which is the Kashmir Action Network, is not at all about me. In fact, it's supposed to highlight Kashmiris from the valley, and it is strictly representing the Gilani Saab and Pakistan narrative, because living in the U.S. and doing active lobbying, meaning having contact with congressmen and senators, I had to register under the Foreign Agent Registration Act. And because my position as the Pakistan position, I actually represent Pakistan. So, but this is not what prompted my views. I lived in the valley for 10 years. I went through hell while living there. And having to leave was the hardest thing that ever happened to me. And I'm in this with my whole heart and mind and 24/7. But it's not about me. And I get offended if somebody wants to assume a leadership role outside or anywhere that he or she does not deserve. I see myself as back office, as support staff of everybody else, and just kind of, as you said, amplifying a particular message. Although I'm very, very clear about my personal views of what I consider the solution should be, which is the Pakistan narrative. So I'm not lying about this. And I'm at loggerheads. I'm at war with the other ideological camps here, because, as somebody earlier mentioned, the JKLF and KGC and Stand with Kashmir, all those camps who are deep down horribly anti-Pakistan, they see me as an enemy for their particular narrative. But I am not trying to superimpose anything. I represent people I know in the Valley, I'm very close to, who have a particular ideology, and I'm speaking for them. And I'm also speaking for people I work with in the Pakistan government. But they are not telling me what to say. They are not telling me what to do. In fact, my views came first. So before my relationship with them, and my views originated from my living in the Valley, and reaching certain conclusions. So that's all I wanted to say. And if anybody has any questions about my activities, there are at least 2 or 3 people in this debate with whom I'm in close contact with. They know a lot of the things I'm doing. They know me personally. So, if you have any questions, let me know. But I think this is a very, very important debate, and I'm glad you're having it. Thank you. I can't hear anybody.
Yeah, so there was an issue.
We're here.
Yeah, so I also couldn't hear. So yeah, Karen, go ahead.
No, I had finished. I said, that I think this is a very, very important debate, and I'm listening to it as an outsider / insider. But believe me, I have absolutely no leadership or appropriations ambitions. I'm just support staff, and please view me as that. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, for speaking here. And I received a notification from Twitter while I was here hosting the space that I am violating some rules, and they have been instructed to suspend my account. That just happened while Karen was speaking, and unfortunately. But let's go ahead and Charlie, please take the mic.
Thank you very much. And I am 100% sure that these people are not even Indians, because excuse me, this is being reported by the people that we know, and it's despicable for them to reach out to people and do what they're doing. We know that you're listening, and you're. It's just a beginning, because the moment you try to reach out to the iqtidar, to the leadership, that's the moment you will face the wrath, and you will be exposed. So regardless of whether you want to report people or whatever you dirty games you want to play, it will be exposed. It's unfortunate that these monsters are trying to cash out at the cost of the martyrs of Kashmir. It is very sad that these people make these organizations and consider them as their own fiefdoms. And we will never tolerate it. We will never allow it. Your institutionalization of your ambitions at the cost of the blood of the martyrs will never be allowed. It will never be allowed, no matter how much powerful or backing you have from any of the states. We neither fear a state, nor do we fear your support. Thank you.
Okay, so Who else wants to speak on this topic?
Look, I appreciate my brother saying what he said. If he knows that such people are doing such vile reporting, I'm very sorry to hear about your account, brother. I don't know if you understand Urdu, लेकिन दुख और pain अपनों से ही होते हैं. They have caused more damage to the cause than even our Indians. When Indians suspend us, and I've been suspended up to 24 times. It's no big deal, and many of us have been suspended. So just as on a personal note, brother, just keep fighting, keep going, because we have our brothers giving our lives for the cause. तो अगर हमारे accounts भी suspend हो रहे हैं तो कोई मसला नहीं है. बस दुख है, अगर अपने कर रहे हैं तो वो तो तकलीफ है हमें. That hurts us, but it is what it is. But brother Charlie, I think it's time. If they're doing such things, it's better to name and shame them. I'm not saying to do it tonight. Whenever you feel, or all of us feel that when the time is right, convenient, we should do it. And I'm not very shy. I literally let you know. I'm literally involved with JKLF UK. We gave them a bloody nose regarding their false propaganda, which they been using Red for Kashmir, and we gave them a bloody nose when we launched Kashmir Bleeds Green, which is actually narrative on the ground, and nobody can deny that. Thank you.
And one more thing I wanted to add here. Please do not use the sacrifices and efforts and selflessness of people of Azad Kashmir to carry your own politics. That is unacceptable. You cannot fool people for too long. You cannot use the sacrifices of the people of Jammu and people of Azad Kashmir to do your own business, because people will see through your deception, and they do. They see through your deception.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. When Gilani Sahab was quite well and was quite active in politics, many a times people from UK, especially in Europe and especially in UK, try to do similar things which we saw post 2019. But since he was active and was aware of such things, he would next day or after some probe investigations respond and react and warn such people, not taking people on ground for granted to mislead them. So that was a deterrence, which of course that this gap which we see for past 4 years effectively has led to rise of these groups, especially on social media. The thing is simple that the All Parties Hurriyat Conference, I personally have been insisting here whenever I get an opportunity to speak that is our goalpost of freedom, and that needs to be strengthened wherever they are, where from ever they operate, given the situation that nobody is allowed to speak. They need to take charge in their hands and of course lead from the front. But challenge remains the narrative building. That challenge remains. Why I mentioned Pakistan before I spoke, and we need to join hands and aid each other is because we are not a big diaspora. So thanks to Pakistani diaspora, even when in 2019, whatever happened, more people in North America can tell us better, it were the Pakistanis who would come in thousands, and then some Kashmiris shamelessly would stand up and tell them not to raise Pakistani flag. So better go sit home. No, despite the fact they came out and they joined those rallies. So the thing is, and this idea, many people would say that rallies happen and everybody speaks and we do not find a Kashmiri. No, do not. I mean, this is I don't know who has put this thing in our minds. If you are on the right side of the history, if you are speaking for the people of Kashmir, from wheresoever you are, it does not matter. Do not. The thing is that you will not. The solidarity should not be conditional. You say that Kashmiris need to be given that plebiscite, right of plebiscite. You are speaking that language, it's okay, it's welcome. So it's not necessarily that every time, this is especially these groups who this try to manipulate things, whatever is happening on ground. The thing is that if you are speaking the right language, if you are really concerned about what is happening in Kashmir, and you speak for people, it's welcome. So we should not fight that, oh, Kashmir is not there, so why not? Why not? I mean, if we go by the basic fact of the dispute, it is either India or Pakistan. If a Pakistani ambassador speaks about Kashmir, he has a right. If a Pakistani diplomat speaks about it, he has a right. If a Pakistani diaspora guy or girl speaks about it, he has a right, or she has a right. That thing, we should be clear about that. We are not a big diaspora. We need to aid each other. Of course, we have to learn from the mistakes we have done. And leg pulling, we have, these are challenges, but we need to, these challenges, because there is a gap, there is a void. That void has to be filled. Somebody, if not Riaz, Ghulam Hassan has to come forward. If not Ghulam Hassan, Farooq Ahmed has to come forward. So we have to come forward. We have to fill that gap. If I do not speak, that place will be taken by someone tomorrow. Maybe I have to regret about that. Yes, that's it.
Thank you. I think I said it earlier, and some people don't seem to understand what I said. We are not leg pulling anyone. We are not interested in. We don't have any property dispute with anyone. We are. What we are saying is that in diaspora, people have to act responsibly, and they should shun their stupid egos and selfish interests. A lot of people know here what interests some diaspora guys have, and they are using those stupid interests and trying to gain relevance and credibility, which they should not do. We are going to tell them what they are doing, and we are telling them absolutely why they are doing the wrong things. So it's not leg pulling. It is absolutely, we have the arguments to back our criticism. They should shun the ego, and especially those people who have no ground support, or they are not known on the ground, or they should stop creating fuss and mess in diaspora. We want to work with everyone in diaspora. We want to work with the people who are from ground, who are from other countries, but only if there is substantial thing to do, which is productive. Not something for someone's promotion or something. We're not here for that. We don't have time for that. I think I would like to ask other people if they want to speak. They are welcome. Otherwise, we will soon end the space.
Yeah, if I may, I wanted to just narrate something that just happened a couple of days ago. Is that correct? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. You can say, as long as it's not like
okay.
Not naming someone.
Okay. Well, this is kind of talking about things in practice here, and not just in theory. We are currently trying to prepare a letter writing campaign after there have been reports that Modi is coming to Washington to meet with the White House, and that one of the things he's planning to do is also to reach out to the Democrats who have been critical about Kashmir. So, we've been kind of trying to rally the few troops we have to get them to write letters to the committees and to their representatives, to the lawmakers up on the Hill. And because our collecting the information about the diaspora has been going slow, I reached out to a Kashmiri community leader from the West Coast who is very wealthy. He's from Srinagar. He's well placed. He was instrumental in 2019 in getting us the hearings up on the Hill because he arranged fairly large campaign contributions. He was working on the speakers. He got, from what I understand, he was the one suggesting Nitasha Kaur, who is with Stand with Kashmir, and he's extremely well connected. So I called him and I said to him, "Look, this is what we are doing. I can draft the letter that should go to the Congress. Could you possibly forward it to the people you know, so they can be matched with their representatives and we can have everybody alerted at the Congress about what Modi is planning to do and update them on the situation on the ground." And he just lit into me that he feels I was part of a campaign to divide the diaspora, that he was aware of this Kashmir Bleeds Green campaign, and that he was firmly with the Reds, and that he doesn't believe in what we are doing, and on and on and on. And then when I explained to him that it wasn't us who were trying to divide people, that it was, essentially the others who were saying that's what we were trying to do. And he calmed down a little bit, but then in the end, he only agreed. He said, if anything were to go out, it would have to go out under his name and under his leadership. So, these are some of the things that I run into in the U.S. Of course, none of this is happening with the Pakistani diaspora. It's extremely easy working with them, and they are extremely tolerant of everybody else. But, this is somebody who is from Srinagar, but he was very prominent here. So I just wanted to explain, that it's not so easy to say we're going to work with everybody, we're going to represent every voice as long as they are Kashmiris. So I just wanted to add this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karen. Quite honestly, though, as a Kashmiri, we understand that India's partnership with the United States of America is that of strategic, and they have a green light to carry out whatever they want in Kashmir. So we don't have much hopes from the United States of America, considering how Chargé d'Affaires recently how he met RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. I mean, that's a clear violation of basic human rights, right? So, we really, our movement should not be held hostage in Washington. And cannot be held hostage in Washington. Our ally and our representatives in Pakistan are enough for us, and they know what they have to do. They know exactly what needs to be done, and that's what we are looking forward to. We have lost hope in DC and the power corridors there. Also, give me a quick second.
Assalamualaikum. Very briefly, Mohammed, I was not talking about Mohammed Jamal Wani sahab, that we are doing well leg pulling here. No, of course not. In this, it's a good, self accountability is a must, and that's how we move forward. Reducing the number of mistakes we make. So, of course, I was not talking in the context of our conversation here. I'm saying generally, but I believe that many people who are misusing the opportunities they have got. Of course, those people need to be named, but it is, of course, at the end of the day, what I do as a person, or if I am part of a group, what we do as a group. The last thing is that what matters is, do people on ground respect you what you do? That's very important. For that, awareness is must. And people are not gullible, especially Kashmiris on ground. We are politically very much mature. We know who is doing what. But in all this, what we say, what we do, whoever is doing whatever, Until and unless All Parties Hurriyat Conference takes charge in its hands, leads from the front, we will see these challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we need to be truthful to the people, and our people are clever and they are smart, but our people are also innocent. So they believe in someone's language and words, and sometimes people just mislead them. So they don't have the resources to know. They don't have the information to inquire about people's background, or that's what I said, that the cause is really sacred, and having that popularity, greed, and trying to create fake credibility on the name of fakeness, and sometimes wearing the sleeves of Islam to mislead people. We have hypocrites, have always been there. So we will give them some time. If they learn the lesson, then it's okay. If not, then we have things at stake. We can't afford wrong people or fake people to lead the movement, and that's not possible. So I think if we have any other person, if we have any other guy here who wants to speak, please request the mic. Otherwise, we will.
Mr. last Karin, before you end it up, do want to mention that people who are trying to take advantage of our genuine concerns know that we watch you, we know who you are, and our divide or our differences with the people that you see we have, you are not allowed to exploit it, and we will never let you. We will never let you exploit that. But we essentially, the institution of our resistance, Qaid Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani, has mentioned, "Hum Pakistani hai, Pakistan hamara hai," and any devoid or any distraction on that issue that you try to cause, we know who you are. And we know what you're trying to do. You are just another minion of Kashmir Global Council. You have your own agendas, but that's not going to happen. So save yourself time and stop trying to become someone who is trying to exploit the situation here. Our allegiance and our support to the state of Pakistan is defined by Qaid himself. And nobody can take it away. Nobody can distort it. Nobody is allowed to distort it. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie, brother. Brother Muhammad, I would like to ask you. You were mentioning about certain diaspora have a certain amount of interest regarding Kashmir. So, to the common Kashmiri, or even to the common Pakistani, for that matter, can you enlighten us, elaborate us, or teach us that what type of interests are these people attempting for or trying to gain? Because obviously this is social media, and sometimes you could find somebody, a very average activist, who are not going to be aware of these things. I understand we don't need to mention their names. You mentioned earlier, and that's fine. But please, even for myself, I'm trying to work out what type of interests are these people seeking.
So actually, the first interest is always, some people seek material interests. And there is, always in wars and conflicts, money is always involved. So these people will always try to cash the moment for their benefit, of course. Some people need portfolios, and unfortunately, Pakistan has also appointed some wrong people or given responsibilities to some wrong guys, and they are trying to exploit that opportunity also. Attempts have been made to exploit it. That's why we are saying this. So these are the things that these people, and some people just want to be, the monopoly of the cause in the diaspora, so that they can dictate terms in the diaspora. These are some of the things which I understood from their interests. So they exploit. Some people on ground has been exploited. That's very disheartening. These people on ground, they put their lives on risk, and then we have someone sitting in the cozy rooms in the West, in the Europe, in the US, and they do not understand the risks that the people are taking on ground. So I think these are very important, and these people should be sincere and work for the cause, just like people on ground have been working, who sacrificed their lives, their properties, their future, their career, their profession, everything. So lastly, Asif Qazi Saab is requesting the mic. After that, I think I will end the space. Okay.
Asif Qazi Saab, are you there?
I want to add one more thing to what he said just now. That one reason why the diaspora is always given the central role to mislead people is because Kashmiri people are seen as a Muslim populace who has to be converted and adjusted to this modern world. There's the hegemony at play. So that's why diaspora is always promoted to a top position so they can confidently carry out the state's agenda of de-Islamizing Kashmir. And I think that's one of the baseline thematic reason that comes at play when diaspora goes at the top and speaks without any authority whatsoever what people should do and what they should believe. That's all I wanted to add. Thank you.
Charlie, go ahead.
This is exactly what I wanted to actually mention. We're not going to we're not going to make another Afghanistan here, where diaspora takes the reins of the situation. Everything that happens on the ground is acceptable. Masrat Alam is a de facto leader of our movement now. You have to accept it, and if you don't like it, too bad. Get out of the kitchen. So any issues or any attempts to sabotage this, or even thinking about sabotaging this, will be a betrayal to the cause of the martyrs that we will never allow. We will never allow it, never allow it, and never allow it. And you know who you are. You're getting the messages. That's why you're reporting the spaces.
Yes, thank you for reporting the spaces, and thank you for reporting my account. And Pundas have sent me the message. So, but you know what? We are up for it. We will be martyrs or